Hey guys, this is Mikhail Qualls. I'm here, just got done wrenching. This is a story that I want to tell you guys and inform you guys of what happened to me during the spring of, or it was February 2022. I was in the military. I was in the Marine Corps. I was stationed in Camp Pendleton, California. Just got back from a deployment. I had one morning I went into work. I went into work after doing PT or physical training in the morning. I went to the gym with my men, and when I was deadlifting, I started feeling a pain in my side, a pain in my lower right abdomen. I ended up going home, getting showered. I didn't think really nothing of it. Going back to my barracks, getting showered. I showered up, put on my belt, my pants, and tightened my belt up. And every time I'd walk, I'd start feeling this pain in my side. So I'm walking back to my place of work on camp, and it started getting bad. I was walking every single step of my right foot. It would hurt my right hand side of my stomach. And I ended up going, because I've never felt this before, other than just some small stomach pain from gas and stuff like that. Ended up going to the BAS, or like the little tiny doctor's office on camp, and they pressed on my stomach, ended up telling me that they think that I have appendicitis. So I ended up driving myself to the Naval Hospital. And when I got there, I brought them my paperwork, everything like that. They ended up telling me we need to get an MRI right now. So I ended up getting the injection for the dye. They put the dye in me. I went back to the MRI room, got the MRI, and then came back out to my my waiting room or whatever. So come to find out, they ended up telling me about a few minutes later, probably 30 minutes later, that I need to get appendix surgery because my appendix was about to rupture. Knowing me, I hate needles, I hate surgeries, all that kind of stuff. Most I've ever had was stitches, some pretty deep cuts and stuff like that. I've had stitches, local anesthesia or whatever. But I've never been under the knife or, been gone under. So they hand me this pamphlet. I get a pamphlet that says basically the risks of anesthesia, all that stuff. I know you're probably thinking that I'm a wuss or whatever, but that's okay. I did not want to go under. I did not want to get surgery at that time. Me and my wife were about to move into a new house on base, and I did not want to interfere with that. So they gave me a pamphlet. The surgeon came in, started talking to me, told me that I needed surgery. I needed it now, all that kind of thing. When I started reading the pamphlet, on the back, it said that there was another option, which was antibiotics. And overall, my diet at that time was pretty good. I was drinking pretty heavily though. So that probably has something to do with my being dehydrated and what caused my appendicitis. So I ended up telling them, they were trying to give me painkillers and stuff like that to numb my appendix and stop the pain, which I told them I didn't want that because I wanted to feel how bad it was or how much it hurt so I could monitor myself. They ended up, I told them that I wanted to look at the MRI because I used Dr. Google, like they called it Dr. Google. So I started researching on Google about alternatives to healing your appendix and if I actually needed surgery or not. They were very adamant about me getting the surgery. They were saying that I needed it. It was gonna burst. So basically I told them I wanted to see the MRI scan. They took me back in my hospital gown. They took me back to the computer screen. They showed me my MRI. I compared it on Google to appendix or appendix that were going to rupture, or they have ruptured, or they're inflamed. I looked at the MRI, and to me, it looked like it was inflamed, but it wasn't necessarily to the point where I could not try to heal it myself or with antibiotics. I know this sounds crazy. It is crazy. I'm not recommending anyone do this. I'm not a doctor. This is not medical advice other than just sharing my story. I told them I want the antibiotics. They were obviously mad at me or flustered that I would want to do that and not let them take my appendix. So they ended up taking me to a room for one of the brig. Basically, I'm not saying they're bad people, they're not, but they were probably pretty upset with my choice to not go through with appendix surgery and to risk it. I risked it. I started fasting immediately. I did not eat anything, only drink water. That's it. I was drinking water, and they were giving me IV antibiotics and IV saline or hydration IVs. So fast forward, I get discharged. My appendix pain is still there a little bit. I go on a strict regimen of fasting. I fasted, I don't remember exactly how long I fasted for. Probably 2 to 3 days of not eating anything but water, or eating anything or drinking anything but water. And then I started a all whole foods. I was eating fruits, just fruit, meat. I actually started eating raw meat. I'm not even joking. This sounds crazy. It is crazy, but I started looking into other people's experience with healing their appendicitis, and I actually fasted and healed my appendicitis with raw meat at first and fruit. And then I started searing the meat. I would sear like steaks, make steaks, get big roasts and stuff like that, cut them up into steaks. And people thought I was crazy. I mean, people in my unit were like, "What are you doing? What are you doing? Man, that's crazy. You're eating raw meat?" Yeah. At that time, I was eating raw meat and fruit only for probably around a month. And to this day, it is December 2025, and I still have my appendix as of right now. I have not had really any more pain in my appendix after that. I typically eat fairly healthy. I try to eat healthy. And as of right now, I still have my appendix, and sometimes I'll feel a little bit of pain in my stomach, but I don't think it is my appendix 100%. And as of right now, yeah, that's how I healed my appendix. I have not had any scares with it lately, and if I do feel any stomach pain, I'll go on like a intermittent fasting regimen, and seems to have been doing the trick so far. But yeah, I just wanted to get on here and share with you guys my story on how I avoided appendix surgery. I like to lift weights, so I didn't want them cutting into my stomach. And I don't know, I'm not a surgeon, so I don't know exactly everything, but I did not want them to cut into my stomach and to go into my muscle, nothing like that, unless absolutely necessary. And then again, this was during the COVID times when my trust for the medical doctors has gone down immensely. Yeah. So I just wanted to come on here and share with you guys my story about my appendix and how I treated my appendicitis. In Europe, they actually use antibiotics quite often to treat appendicitis, and it works. I think it's 60, don't quote me, but I think 60% of the time it works, but who knows, with a good diet and good exercise and staying hydrated, it probably would work a lot more of the time, because all appendicitis is basically your appendix gets inflamed from having a piece of fecal matter stuck in the top of it. So it cannot drain, or it's called impacted. It gets compacted with fecal matter. So yeah, that's my story, and I appreciate you guys listening. If you guys have any questions on what I did, comment down below, and I'll try to answer them as best as I can. Again, this is not medical advice. I have no medical degree, nothing like that. I am just coming on here to share my story and to maybe help some other people out that are freaking out about their appendix, because I was freaking out. And I'm still here as of today in December 2025, and I still have my appendix. Appreciate it, and like and subscribe. I post a lot of lifting content, and I'm a musician and also mechanic content. So thank you guys so much, and have a blessed day.